Alright everyone, for better or worse, here I am again with a new song, and I have changed my outfit, so you know it's at least some point in the future. I felt pretty safe about recording a video about talking about, the Final Fantasy V collaboration. The news will probably be tomorrow. No. Yep, they got me. Good job, Gumi, you got me. So let's take a look at what we have, because in the update we have that will be coming next week, we have a new version of, I say a new version because technically if you were part of the original Final Fantasy V collaboration, this character was a Earth character, if I remember correctly, and I think I do. So now we have him revealed as a fire elemental character. That's pretty interesting. We have 2 new VCs as well coming next week. So there's going to be a lot of content to dig into, and I very much look forward to seeing how this will affect the meta. Talking about Gilgamesh, though, we have him as a spear-based character in the fire element at 100 cost. Now, all of that is considerably interesting, given that, fire kind of does have bulk, not particularly used, but maybe with the synergy, or who knows, maybe he'll just get ended up put with Flag Glassy and along with Shrek. Maybe that's the combination. But either way, we have a new primary job, and the job, the lovable captain of the guard, is what it roughly translates out to. There's probably a more accurate version that will come later, but for now, that's what I'm sticking with, because, the translation sometimes. Subjob, Battle Axeman, as well as Dragoon Vein Knight. Dragoon Vein Knight is one of the newer spear-based classes. I'm feeling pretty good about this character's support for potentially pierce-type damage. Now that, of course, depends on the character. So let's start with an evaluation of his Commander ability. Commander ability is for duels. Activated at the start of battle, increase piercing attack power, critical evasion rate, and HP limit for allies with the main job, Greatsword, Spear, and Staff, such as Black Mage, for 5 turns. This also might be really hinting towards our anniversary character in terms of synergy as well. So I would really like to just put that out there. And it recovers the HP by, it looks like, the percentage that it does increase by. So that's pretty good. I mean, percentages are going to be interesting to see whether or not this character actually gets there for being good enough. But it is a duels that is giving a fair amount of stuff. Greatsword, Spear, and Staff feels like they very much have a specific type of party in mind for who this commander will be. I'm at the very least, pretty curious to see how it turns out. Now, in terms of preview, really too terribly much of a preview for the character. First off, the Limit Burst inflicts status effects of Haste, Protect, and Shell on self for 3 turns, destroys barriers that reduce physical damage, and reduces the target's single attack resistance for 3 turns before dealing extra large damage. That's a lot, and it has a pretty big range on it. Now, we can tell that single target is probably going to be his focus, which is a little on contrast because you look at the bottom ability, and that is a diamond AoE pattern. But inflicting, he has Haste, Protect, and Shell from just casting his Limit Burst. It's a pretty good chance. It has Barrier Destruction, which means that he should be pretty effective at dealing damage. And he does support other single target attackers. So all of that might be a really nice combination. Second ability, after the Guts effect is removed from the target within range, deal 2 consecutive damages large, and reduce magic damage for 3 turns, and reduce the resistance penetration rate for area attacks. So interesting. Seems like his second ability is far more utility Like, you're getting rid of a effect that keeps you from killing your opponents. You're dealing multiple damage. It's AoE, which doesn't seem to be his strong suit. But then you're also reducing magic damage and resistance. So the AoE size of this seems to be more for utility than anything else. And what we can garner from all of this, I mean, number one, he's pretty self-reliant on giving himself a bunch of buffs. He will be for a single target attack team, it feels like. And it feels like this will be our next character that is anti-mage. Honestly, if his VC does have support for fists, maybe this is supposed to be Preen's buddy. I don't know. It does kind of match up. They're both physical, and I'll be interested to see where this character goes in terms of what we see from him in the future. But that's not all. We do have his master ability as well. Own area attack resistance up by 15 and critical evasion up of 20 is an interesting amount of survivability that we can't preview elsewhere. So I'm curious to see how this ends up factoring out with this character, whether he is like very offensive, because this might be one of those characters that looks like, oh, he's going to be a jack of all trades, and he ends up being surprisingly strong. Because Gilgamesh is a very popular character, so I could see him getting there. Now, next up, we do have this VC featuring lovely pixel-based art. I don't know about you, I'm never as big on this, but that's just me. So the VC works for axes, spears, katanas, gloves, and books. So a wide variety of jobs that this can support. Increases resistance to area attacks and piercing attack up as well by the looks of it. We also then have type chain resistance increased for maxing out the beast. And for guild battle only, critical damage up. Granted effect here is HP up and accuracy up, which is pretty nice given where the current meta is. And maxing this will give for guild battle accuracy up of 2 and initial up. So this seems like a pretty nice little vision card to get your hand on. Both of the other FF5 VCs have been really nice historically and long-lasting in terms of their utility. I kind of expect this one too. I mean, axes, I'm not super excited. Spears, kind of. Katanas, that's been getting a lot of love. Gloves and books also being supported in here. Yeah, there might be something cooking. We'll see. This one might be one of the ones that like half a year we're like, wow, man, I feel really bad that I did not get that. Okay, and then let's move on to our next VC, which is supporting dual vision or dual Veritas story artwork. And boy, oh boy, does it look beautiful. I love this VC a ton, and it's not going to be a limited time VC. Nice. So this VC is for bows, guns, katanas, again, and staff's mentor. For getting this VC, you get HP increase, as well as resistance to area attacks, as well as we are looking at increased critical rate at maxing this VC. And for duels only, critical evasion rate as well. Now, interestingly, for JP players, this is one of the first times we've ever seen this ever. This is a little more common for global, but not for us. This VC actually maxes out Veritas of each attribute. So, for Veritas of each attribute, every attribute, increase resistance to fire elemental ability attacks and wind elemental ability attack. Now, the granted effect increases speed and resistance to single attacks, and for water Veritas, increases magic power and resistance penetration rate for area attacks, which is pretty nice for her. For frost Veritas, increase attack power and increase resistance penetration rate to single target attacks. I'm sorry. cat hair, breathing in too much of it. So this is a lot. You also still have the dexterity increase as well as the maxing out the VC bonus. So if, you know, just taking a wild guess, I would say that this is the first of 4 vision cards to be sporting the Veritas, as we have 2 in this one, and we will probably see more. But collecting all of these vision cards will be another source of increase for the Veritas units. And collecting all of them, like, is this just the Infinity Stones for the Veritas units? Hard to say, but I have to say I quite like this vision card more than the collaboration vision card, even though I know that this is permanent and easier to potentially get down the line. But as a Veritas supporter, I'm all in for it. So we've taken a look at a lot of stuff, 2 new vision cards, as well as a brand new character. And if we reload, well, there's more information such as collaboration details. We can see a new spear, as you would expect, and we also can see the turning equipment also get upgraded, which is nice. Hopefully that will be substantial upgrades. Another Dark Veritas Mission 3 will be coming. I haven't even done Mission 2, but we'll get there. Limit Burst, Refresh, and then, well, looks like a Limit Burst for Light Veritas is also on the menu, as well as a series of upgrades, which I don't have time to quite get into this video. So to keep this video relatively short, and apologies if we have to do one more later. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts below, and see you later.